If somebody came and was to ask you or offer you, would you do wrongful acts to get rich? Normally you would say no, right? Unless you've had your own circumstances and you're desperate. But under normal circumstances, you would say no. You wouldn't abruptly just go against your own values and morals. This is like going from a 0 to 100. However, what if, instead of going from a 0 to 100, you went to 10? And then 20. What if for exchange of money, you did something that was slightly wrong? And then you open that door and you think, well, I did something that was slightly wrong. I can do something that's slightly more wrong. You go to 15, to 20, to 22, 25, 30. Right, whatever sequence you want. So what if little by little you exposed yourself until you went from A to Z? At the start you thought to yourself, watching another person kiss in public was wrong, right, and you shouldn't do it. And then you went to B. B was, it was wrong to do things like that before marriage. C, it's fine if you watch it, it's not a problem, but you shouldn't go out of your way in looking for things. D is, you can look at these things, you're not doing them, but whatever, so you start looking at people doing it. C, blah blah, carries on increasing. You're at like M. At M, you're starting to watch pornography. At O, you're starting to like masturbate. You find yourself eventually at X, where you're doing really, really weird things, watching really, really weird things, searching for really strange things. And then you think to yourself, where did things go wrong? I thought to myself, no way would I ever do something like this, but I am almost at Z. I am almost at 100. I went from 0 all the way here. How did this come to be? It's low exposure to things is so scary because we eventually find ourselves surrounded and we don't even know what's happening. This usually also happens with things like domestic violence, right? Or domestic abuse. People will slowly and slowly manipulate you, gaslight you in subtle ways, and then eventually more aggressive and more aggressive. And then somebody will ask you from outside of all of this, how the hell are you putting up with that? You should have just said, the moment he touched you or she touched you, I'm out of here, what is your problem? And then, right, you send it to the police, whatever. But it's because you started to accept it, you started normalizing it. Now, in things like religion, they keep you from doing things like that, right? They make you have a really straight path, and same with philosophy, essentially. And abstaining from a lot of actions which are bad for you, which expose you to things that are bad for us, because they evolve into something that's eventually engulfing us and making us people that we don't want to be. And I wanted to speak about this because I found it to be so fascinating. Well, in a bad sense, to be honest. I spoke about the money side at first, right? A wrongful act for money, yeah. But then what about literally everything else in life? What about doing things which make you a lazy person, right? You set the standard lower and then lower and then lower and then lower until you went from one day being a person that went on daily jogs to being the person that wakes up at 2 p.m. and goes to sleep at like 4 a.m. Maybe you were the person that was straight edge, didn't do any drugs, to being the person that smokes 1 gram of weed a day. Maybe you were the person that had a really great diet and ate whole foods and all of this stuff, into being a person that just eats fast food, I was gonna say rapid food nowadays, and is obese and stuff. Through normalizing bad things in our life, we essentially accept them. We accept them to happen. What I want to do with this video is, for myself and for others, have a reminder that no matter how little the crime is, we should not just let it slide. Let's say somebody is being a bully to someone else, and we just observe it and we act like it's not our business and it's not that much of a bullying, it's whatever, they're just making fun of it. No, if it's like a group of friends, whatever, we say, hey man, can I speak to you for a moment? And then you pull them aside and say, look, earlier on you made this joke about this person, it wasn't cool. I don't want to see something like that again. If you're not willing to change this, I will speak to the other person, I will speak to the rest of our friends. I don't think that's a cool thing by you, man. And you should change this, because you might become a person you don't want to be, and that I definitely don't want to be around. I really didn't appreciate it. And you speak like really honestly, right? Maybe you would change the speech to make it a bit less like you're attacking them, be more peaceful about things, have a good intention, but sticking up for the things in your life that are not good for you. I'm saying this as a reminder again, because every now and then I turn the alarm off, right, and I stay in bed, I snooze it. No man, I did that today. This is why I'm making this video. I did it today because I went to bed late. And I thought, oh well, I need to make up whatever. No, if you make an error, because it was an error, it wasn't like I stayed up late working, I stayed up late wasting time, then don't just allow yourself a break or whatever, and then allow yourself to continue doing that, because what's going to happen, you're going to go to bed late once again, instead of thinking, well shit, today was awful because I've been tired because I had slept 5 hours and I exercised, so I'm super tired, but you know, I can snooze or whatever. No, you can't snooze, so you're going to be tired, so you tell yourself, I can't go to bed late. Not accepting it, not normalizing it, is essentially not letting your life get worse. And maybe, conversely, you can slowly, little by little, make your life better. But above all of that, this is a really big danger, not only with our private life and actions, but in the world. If we don't stick up for anything, if we don't stand up for anything, look, we're going to end up in a checkmate where the government, whatever force is conspiring against you, whatever you believe in, right, all these conspiracies, but you will be essentially in a checkmate where you will have or hold no power, and you'll be a slave to the world, whichever forces are against you. And you can't just accept things. This is why when people protest and all that, it's great. There are good ways and bad ways of doing it, of course, but protesting about something that you don't like is essential. Even if you don't, you know, manage to make the change not happen or whatever, you at least stood up for yourself, and that's good enough for your own identity. So yeah, if you have something you disagree with the educational system, or with the opinion of your parents, or of your children, or of your partner, don't just let it happen, don't just let it evolve into something. Be true to yourself, love yourself a little bit more, and value the things that you truly value. Find them. Think about what things you think are good and are bad. It's subjective, but you're the protagonist of your own world, for God's sake. So yeah, join my Discord. I love to have somebody that appreciates and stuck around this long on the video. Let's strive to be 1% better every day. Much love. Quick reminder to fix your posture and take deep breaths into your diaphragm from your nose.